Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? Let me fix my camera. How are y'all doing? Let's just have this conversation really, really quickly. We don't have to stay on long, or you can stay on as long as you like. If you are a man, put in the number one. If you're a woman, put in the number two, so I know who's here. So I know who is here. Hello, hello, hello. Go, move out of here. Hello, I see y'all. I see y'all. I'm sorry. That's Jermaine. If you don't know who Jermaine is my 13-year-old. Go downstairs with Bryce. Go ahead. Go on about your business. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Number two, hey. Tanji, hey. Hey, Ava. Hey, hey, hey. So we're going to talk a little bit about you are not a good mother if. Hey, Cheryl, over on Facebook. I see you. I see you, sis. Thank y'all for tuning in. 1 and 2 from North Carolina have wife with me today. Oh, good. Hey, wife. Hi. How are you? What's your name, sis? Hey, Jeffrey, Mr. and Mrs. Cross. Welcome. Welcome. It's so nice to have couples that come in. I love it because this is how we grow together, love on each other, because this is not to blame anybody. This is just to hold us accountable for being the best versions of ourselves. Hey, Kim, in the relationship, so that our relationship can thrive. This is not to point fingers that the husband is right or the wife is right or the boo is right or the bae is right. This is if we are the best, highest version of ourselves at all times, we will win together. We ain't matching energy over here. If he come home mad, I'm gonna be mad. No, if my baby come home mad, I'm gonna cheer him up. If I come home mad, he gonna cheer me up. Hey, Georgia. Georgia is in the building. So I want to talk a little bit about co-parenting. And this is for the wives. This is for the women, the mothers. And I'm not saying this to dog you out or anything. I'm saying that we have to stop damaging our children because we are mad at their father. And one thing I've learned from a lot of couples and I've learned from a lot of children, just because a man is not a good husband, boyfriend, babe, boo, fiance, whatever you thought he was, does not take away the fact that he's a good father. Just because a man was not a good mate for you does not take away the fact that he wasn't a good father. So I'm gonna go by my notes. You are not a good mother if. Let's just talk about these things. Or I shouldn't say you're not a good mother. We're all good mothers. You're not behaving like a good woman, like a good mother if. We're not going to say anybody's a bad mother because I've been in these predicaments where I haven't been behaving like a good parent. So you're not behaving like a good mother if you put your feelings before your child's well-being and peace of mind, you're not behaving like a good parent. And I just want to bring this to your awareness because sometimes when we are in the thick of things, we don't realize how much damage we're doing to our children. Do you know how many little kids be in their room crying? You know how many little kids are depressed? You know how many little kids commit suicide and parents are trying to figure out why? Because you're talking bad about dad. You make your child feel bad when you talk bad about their father. So if you put your feelings above the well-being and peace of mind of your child, you're not operating as a good mother. Y'all not going to like me for some of this stuff, but this is the truth of the matter. You decided to have that child with that man, and when the things don't work out, there's some things that you have to do. Like you have to put yourself aside. You have to put your feelings aside, and you have to grow up and be grown and make sure you are not traumatizing your children. Let me tell you about the trauma. When you talk bad about your child's father to them, in front of them or around them with family and friends, excuse me, you're traumatizing them. When you talk bad about your children's father around them, in front of them, and to family and friends, you're traumatizing that child. And I need y'all to know this. I need the women to hear this. Don't talk bad about your children's father in the house, on the phone, with your friends, with your mama, with your auntie. If them kids is in that house, they can hear. They hear you, they have feelings, and they don't like it. So stop it. So you are not operating as a good mother. And you go around telling people, I'm a good mother. I love my kids. I do this and I do that. And you're talking bad about the father. You are traumatizing your child. So I know you're mad at him. And you probably have every right to be. But that does not give you the right to traumatize your child and turn your child against the father. That's number two. Number three, if you are turning your child against the father for your own selfish reasons, you are traumatizing your child, and it's going to show up in their adult life, and it's not fair. And I'm speaking from a place of experience. I've never talked bad about my children's fathers, but I have said some things in front of them that I shouldn't have said. This is not even on my notes. All parents, mothers and fathers, should be on one accord at all times. You should not go against your children's father in front of your children, and the father should not go against the mother in front of the children. That means when you're not together. Y'all should be on one accord, because children will manipulate both parents, and what you will have on your hands is a monster. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, and this is not to hurt your feelings, mothers, but I'm trying to teach tonight. This is traumatizing, please, for God's sakes, ladies, stop this, please. And if this is helping y'all, tap the screen. If you're giving your children too much information, you are traumatizing them. And when I talk to my clients and they ask me, what should I tell my children? Ask your children what they need to know. Do you have any questions for mommy and daddy? And whatever they ask you, answer those questions. And I guarantee you, it won't be that deep. Do y'all hate each other? This is the stuff that children want to know. Do y'all hate each other? Am I still going to see both of y'all? Am I the reason why y'all are getting a divorce? Let them ask you the questions, and then you fill in those blanks. A lot of women, you tell your kids too much stuff about what's going on with their father. That is not healthy. That sounds like white folks stuff. That ain't no white folk stuff. Are you kidding me? You know how many families I only talk to mostly black families. I have a few women that I talk to that are not black. I never talk bad, but you're telling the truth. Do you know how many black women are angry at a man and they talk bad in front of their children when there is a family, when their cousins over, aunties, mother? Do you know how many women just sit and talk bad about, and the kid is in earshot? Like the kids don't understand. Kids understand from the age of 2 and younger, but they start to really comprehend communication as in body language and sounds and tones and hearing. Kids hear, and they don't want you talking bad about their dad. Sis, I'm living the facts you're talking about. I know, and we got to stop this. And I know you're hurting some women. I know you're hurting, but you're doing more damage to your child than you're doing to anybody else. You're doing more damage to your child than anybody else. Hold on for 1 second, guys, because I'm not going to keep letting this person disturb y'all. So, number one was, if you put your feelings before your child's well-being and peace of mind, you are not operating as a good mother. If you talk bad about your children's father to them, in front of them, or around them with friends and family, you are traumatizing your children. You're not operating as a good mother. I'm not saying you're not a good mother. I'm just saying right now you're not operating as a good parent. If you give your children too much information, you are traumatizing them, and you are not operating as a good mother. This right here is big. This is big. And I see this very, very often. And y'all got to stop this, ladies. You have to stop this. I'm going to have a second part to this, and I'm going to talk to the dads about navigating through co-parenting too, and what they should not really be doing, that I've heard children say that the parents do, and that I've heard women say that men do. So listen here. If you turn your child into your therapist, BFF, or sounding board, you are traumatizing your child, and you are not operating as a good mother. Your child is not your therapist. You don't need to be talking to your child about your breakup, divorce with your husband, boyfriend, breakup, boo, about their father, or no break. You don't need. They're not your therapist. They're not your best friend, your little best friend, your little girlfriend. No, they are not your sounding board. Go talk to an adult. Go get you a therapist. Go get you a coach. Don't make your children your therapist. It's too heavy for them. They grow up heavy. They grow up not wanting to be married. They grow up confused. They grow up depressed. They grow up anxious because you done made them kids into your therapist and you done dumped all your trash in their little heart, their little head, and their little soul. Don't make your kids your therapist. Again, if you turn your children's father against them, you are doing your children a disservice. Because listen, if that father wants to be in that child's life and he comes to pick that child up and you are turning that child against the father by talking about his new girlfriend this, or he did this to me, or he did that, and you're turning that child, you're sending that child into a hostile environment because that child is hostile on the inside toward their father because of something that you told them, but you're really not telling the whole story. Don't turn your children against their father. They need their fathers. Children need both parents. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't care how much you think he's a this and he ain't. I don't care what you think about him. You don't need him as your man, but children need their fathers. Fathers are just as important as mothers. I hate to tell you that. I don't know if anybody ever told you that, but fathers are just as important as mothers. We can't teach our kids some things that the father could teach them. We can't teach our daughters some things that daddy can teach her. We can't teach our son some things that dad can teach him, and vice versa. But right now, we're talking about us being good mothers, intentional mothers, on purpose mothers. Understand the fact that our kids are going out into the world traumatized based on our mouth, our moves, and us turning our children against their fathers. And we have to stop this, even if the relationship doesn't work out. That is it. You are abusing your child and setting them up for failure. It's abusive when you use your child as a therapist. You're giving them more than they can handle. You're sending the child out in the world who's going to be anxious. You're sending the child out in the world who's not going to like men. You're sending your son in the world. When you talk about your children's father to the son, all he knows is my dad is a part of me. So you're telling him all the bad things about his father. So you're pointing all the bad things out about him. Whether you know or not, he's thinking, wow, my dad is a part of me. So that's who I am. That's what I am. You guys got to be mindful of these things. I'm trying to tell you, I know some children who are really, really not well off. And I'm speaking from experience too. I wasn't the best mother. None of us have been. My oldest son, listen, let me tell you something. I used to tell him all the time when he was about 16, 17 years old, I'm so sorry, you was a guinea pig. I didn't know what I was doing. I swear I didn't know what I was doing. I was drinking, I was partying. I ain't know nothing about being nobody mama. I really didn't. And I wish I knew what I knew now, but I like to tell people now, everything that we're doing when we're bringing up our children is impactful to them. It's impacting them in some kind of way. And they're going to take that into their adult life. And we can never take this back. And I wish somebody would have told me this, even though we are where we are now. But I just want to enlighten somebody to say, this does not have to be your story. This does not have to be your story. Let me see. Oh, okay. When you turn your children's fathers against them, they don't know how to act when they go to dad's house. They just don't know how to act because they can't be comfortable. You know why? Let me tell you all this. They can't be comfortable because they think they're betraying mom, especially when dad has moved on. And listen, once dad moved on, he got a new wife, a new life, a new family, and he's doing good and everybody's good. And you send your child over there, you make your child feel like they're betraying you. So even when it's a good time for your child, they can't even engage properly because they feel bad. Mom's probably at home crying, and we're over here having a good time. When your child should be able to go to their father's house and enjoy him or herself and just live their life outside of your pain, outside of your frustration, and outside of your emotions. This is important. Your children should be able to go to their father if he's moved on and enjoy the new wife, I don't care if she was the side chick. That ain't got nothing to do with this kid. That don't have nothing to do with your children. Too many of us get caught in the weeds and we're damaging and destroying our children for no reason at all, when all we have to do is say, I decided to bring this child into the world. I decided to have this baby with this man. Now I got to grow up and understand that it's more important for my child to be healthy than for me to act out of character because I'm in my feelings. And a lot of us as women, we are emotional. That's why we have to get the help that we need, because you're damaging your child to send your child into the world damaged. Again, there are a lot of young people who are anxious, depressed, and all of these things because we pack so much in them. We put so much on their backpack of life. We have to unpack this stuff after a while for them to say, listen, I'm not right. I wasn't right. I'm so sorry. And I had this conversation with my oldest son, and right now we're not in a good space. Y'all know I'm very, very transparent. We're not in a good space right now. And it's nothing that I can do about it. But I had to sit down and have a conversation with my son to say, I cheated on your dad. And that is not what a woman is supposed to do. As hard as that was for it to come out of my mouth, I had to actually sit down and tell him all the things that I did. I am really sorry, but I want to take the boulders off my life, off your back. I haven't always been right. And we don't want to, anybody that's listening right now that has small children, if you don't put the boulders on your child's back, you don't have to remove them. I'm going to say that again. Anybody that got small children right now, toddlers or kids up until 12 years old, if you don't put the boulders on their back right now, you don't have to remove the boulders later. And if it starts today of being mindful of what I'm saying to my children about their father, their father is a reflection of them. Just like pieces and parts of you are a part of your child, pieces and parts of him are a part of your child too. And when you talk bad about the father to the children, you talk bad about the children to the children, because that's what they think. That's my dad. And they shouldn't have to go through that. So I wanted to come on here tonight and just talk about that for a minute. Adult business should be adult business. Stop it. I know you're mad. I know you're mad. I know your feelings are hurt. I know you're emotional. I know he did you wrong. I know I gave him years of my life. I know. Don't do this to your children. Again, if you want to talk bad about your children's father, and I advise that you just don't, because your thoughts, your words, and your actions are a boomerang that's coming back to find you. Your thoughts, what you think about people, your words, what you say about people, and your actions, what you do to people, is a boomerang that's coming back to find you. So I wouldn't advise that you talk bad about your ex, even if it was bad. Listen, nobody gets away with doing good people wrong. Nobody. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord, if you're a Christian. Karma, if you believe in karma, all of that, it's the truth. What you do comes back on you. What you say gonna come back on you too. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're the wrong one too. So if you do have to talk bad about the children's father, because I know some of y'all still gonna talk bad about him, and that's okay, because you need healing, you need therapy, coaching, pastor, preacher, teacher, something. Go outside the house. When your girlfriends, your cousins, your auntie, your mama come up to me, like, oh, he did. Don't talk about that in this house in front of my kids. Don't do that. The kids is in the room. And when they say, oh, the kid, they ain't going. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We don't talk about him in the house like that. You tell your children your father love you no matter what. Because when you tell your kids otherwise, even when he don't show up, you tell your children something came up, dad will explain to you when he sees you. But your father loves you. Something really important must have come up. Don't say your father, because you ain't doing nothing but making your kids think their father don't care about them, that their father don't love them. And when kids think that their parents don't love them, they go looking for love in all the wrong places, especially girls with their bodies. Boys go looking for love in all the wrong places, in gangs and communities where they feel like they belong. So when you tell your children bad things about their father, instead of, and I'm not saying cover for him, I'm just saying your father will tell you what happened when you speak to him. You can call him tomorrow, but I'm sure it was a very good reason why he didn't come. But your father loves you. You are amazing if you could do that for your children. You are just amazing if you could put your feelings aside and make sure your kids is okay. Your dad loves you. Something really important had to come up. I can't see him not coming to see you, so we'll talk to him later. And then you talk to dad, say, you can't do this to the child. If we're going to wait until you get to the door, and you work things out according to where it is beneficial to your child, not you. Oh, I knew your father wasn't going to show up. He don't never show up. I see he don't care. Do you know the damage and the trauma that you're causing your child? It ain't hurting him. It's hurting your child. So, love y'all. I hope this was helpful. I hope one woman on here got this. I hope one woman just said, you know what? I haven't been operating as a good mom. I'm a good mother, but I haven't been operating as a good mom, and I'm going to do better. I'm not going to talk about my children's father. I'm going to change. I'm going to try. I'm going to go get some help. It's not about me at this point. Stop talking about that man in the house with them kids. Them kids can hear you. They in their room crying. I hope so too. Yes, I hope so. Any questions, comments? Because I'm going to hop off now. I didn't want to keep y'all long. So, oh, in my link, check it out. This is new. I appreciate you for sharing. I appreciate you for being here and listening. This is what I want y'all to do too. I have a Patreon membership where I'm going to have content where I bring the speakers. So I have a therapist next Tuesday. Dr. Jason is coming on to talk about emotions, men and emotions. So y'all tune in next Tuesday. And I'm going to start doing those shows on Patreon so it's more structured. So go with the link in my bio and join my Patreon membership. Y'all said, how can y'all support me? That's how you can support me. The Lord brought me here for this. Oh, did he? What's your name? Lady Takes, you okay? You all right, girl? You all right? You need some help? You did a good job. Thank you. Same with the father. Stop talking about the money. We don't do tit for tat over here. Patricia, we don't do that. We'll have I said we're going to have a conversation about the fathers. But over here on this platform, we talk about one topic at a time. It's not always the woman. It's not always the men. But if we go all over the place, nobody's hearing. So we're talking about mothers today. Mothers, don't talk about your children's fathers, because this is what you're doing to your children. When you talk about YouTube, what about them? That is changing the whole conversation to a new dynamic, and nobody's learning nothing. So I will come on here and I will talk to the fathers, but this is not the time nor the place. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for understanding. This is how we get to the bottom of each problem. When I went to therapy many years ago, you are a very nice person. Thank you. When I went to therapy many years ago, the therapist told us, this is when I was in a relationship, that's called dish piling. Right? When you start talking about one topic, another topic, you never get to the dirty dish at the bottom. So it's all crusty, and it is the real problem. So we do one at a time, and then we resolve things. Everybody gets to talk about it. And then we come up with some solutions, and I give some resources. If you need coaching, I am a coach. If you are a mother who is going through it and you need some support, please go in my bio and set up a session, please, for yourself. Please, you deserve it. I know, listen, I know how hard it is when a man does you dirty and you have a child with him. I've been through that. We are in such a better place right now, but I've been through it. I've been through people coming around and talking about him with me like, oh yeah, girl, he this, he that. Instead of somebody coming to me and saying, listen, whatever reason it happened, you deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to deal with this all the time. And you can't heal like this. You can't heal talking bad about him. You can't heal telling your children bad stuff about him. You can't heal thinking bad about him. You are just a mess. And I want us to understand that it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. But you have to process those feelings in a positive way. What do you think when a woman does? What do you do when a woman does dirty? What does that mean when a woman does dirty? Get a mom. I love listening to you speak. Never heard anything bad at all. Thank you so much. What do you do when a woman does you dirty? When a woman does you dirty? Absolutely. Thank you, Patricia. So again, I'm just here for us to grow, to heal, and to learn, and to have better lives. And the way that we all do that, is to be the best, highest version of ourselves at all times. No matter what another person is doing, you just be a good person. If he was a bad man or she was a bad woman, you be the best, highest version of yourself. So if a woman does you dirty, there's more to that than what you're saying. But do you mean cheat on you or talk bad about you? I'm a good person. If you're a good person, whatever somebody does to you is going to come back on them. Like I just said, what you think, what you say, and what you do is coming back like a boomerang to find you. So if somebody did you dirty, listen to me. Unless you keep allowing them to do you dirty, don't complain if you keep allowing a person to do you dirty. Don't do that. Don't say somebody doing me dirty and I'm a victim. Because once you allow somebody, if somebody does something to you that is out of sorts and they shouldn't be doing it, and you say, okay, like we ain't throwing people away either. Once you say that's a boundary that you cross, I don't ever do that to me again, because if you do that again, there'll be some consequences and I won't want to be with you, or I have to separate myself from you. And if that person does it again and you allow them space in your life again, then you, my friend, are the problem. You're the problem. You gotta let folks go. I know we love people. I love some people too, but I had to let them go because they were not willing to respect my boundaries. They were not willing to respect me as a person. They were not treating me the way that I deserved to be treated. And let me say this to each and every person on here, and I want you to remember this for the rest of your life. If you don't remember nothing else that I say to you tonight, repeat after me. And I want you to say this loud and proud. It is a privilege to be in my life. It is a privilege to be in my life. And if you abuse the privilege, you lose the privilege, because it is a privilege to be in my life. I appreciate each and every person on here right now that is looking at me and supporting me, because you are allowing me to be in your life. That's a privilege. And it's a privilege for you to be in my life. So if you come on my thread acting a fool and you abuse the privilege, guess what? The privilege gets taken away. And I might come back and unblock you and see if you deserve that privilege again. But chances are, a lot of times at this age, if you are a person of 45 and over, you know what you're doing. You know right from wrong. So you just need to understand, my brother. You just need to understand, my sister. It is a privilege to be in your life. And if you allow people to abuse that privilege, then shame on you. You tell people from the beginning, let me tell you this. It's a privilege to be in my life. And when they say, what you mean? Say it's a privilege to be in your life too. And I expect that if somebody abused that privilege, you would excuse them from that privilege. So I just want to let you know it's a privilege to be in my life. And if you abuse the privilege will be taken away. People think a little differently when you know that it's a privilege to be in your life. People think a little differently when they know you got standards and boundaries. Don't do that. Like one of my guests was on the other night, Dr. Elaine. Oh, she's not a doctor, but I said it, so she's gonna be a doctor. Elaine Johnson. She said her husband, before they were married, he was running a little game. Elaine set boundaries and told him, brother, listen, go with your agenda, and I'm gonna see you when I see you. And that brother got his life all the way together because she wasn't playing. He did not want to lose that privilege for the rest of his life. And guess what? They've been married for 13 years. People will respect your boundaries and your expectations. Folks be telling us don't have expectations. Please, I have expectations. And you need to know I have expectations. I expect you to respect me. And when you don't, then you won't be around me anymore. I expect you to be loyal to me. And if you ain't loyal to me, guess what? You ain't going to be around no more. But I have expectations. And when people tell you don't have expectations, it's because they plan on dogging you out. Oh, expectations lead to disappointment. No, it doesn't. Your poor behavior leads to disappointment, not my expectation. The fact that you didn't meet the expectation and disappointment is okay. Do y'all know that? People be like, oh, if you have expectations, it's going to lead to disappointment. Okay, I've been disappointed before. So it's all good. I'll be disappointed again. But I'm telling you, this is what I expect from you, and this is what I don't accept from you. I live my life on expectations and exceptions. People will do to you what you expect and what you accept. Do you know that? People will do to you what you expect and what you accept. I expect you to be loyal to me. You cheated on me. I don't accept you cheating on me. There's the door. Expect and accept. People are only in your life based on you accepting and expecting. Somebody gonna take that home with them tonight. I promise you. So I'm gonna get out of here now because I'm ready to go and chill. But I had to come on here today with y'all. Again, go to my Patreon in my link and join my membership because I'll be doing some stuff over there. I'm building a TV network. You can watch me do that from scratch. You can become part of the team. You can bring your TV show over there. But New You Nation Network, make sure you follow my New You Nation Network YouTube channel. It is content that nurtures you. Ain't no trash over there. This is for Generation X and beyond. Anybody who is a millennial who wants to learn and grow, don't want to hear a whole bunch of cussing and twerking, you're more than welcome. And don't come over there if you are a millennial or a Gen Z talking about fat shaming and phobia. I don't want to hear that stuff no more. I don't want to hear it. Don't come over there talking about narcissists. We over here growing and learning. So if you want to get some good, wholesome content, funny too, I'm working on some shows because we get to have humor. But I don't want to see another ass come across my screen. I don't want to see another person on it saying, if you're going to F me, suck me, dick. I don't want to see it no more. I don't want to see it. So one thing about me, and y'all could join me if you want to over on Patreon. One thing about me, if I see a problem, I'm going to make a solution. I felt like it was no content for Generation X. And I felt like they were shoving stuff down our throat. That's unacceptable to us. So I started the New You Nation Network and I developed my own shows. Men Hurt Too, the Woman to Woman Show, Love Lessons. Yahweh comfort and guide each of you during this time. I don't know what that is, but whenever you see a problem, anytime, I don't want you to complain. Guess what I want you to do? I want you to be the solution to the problem. Because if you ain't part of the solution, you part of the problem. So guess what? I created the New You Nation Network, and it's something over there for everybody. For my men, I have Men Hurt Too. I interviewed over 52 men. We started to do the live shows again. The last one was very good with Dr. Carter. And Tuesday, we're going to have Dr. Jason on the Trey Kearney show. Last week on Thursday, we had Elaine Johnson, who was talking to the women about how to have a balanced career and marriage. Y'all got to go watch her interview because homegirl do not play. She don't play. Like she said, your man needs sex. I said it, and that's it. And that's what I mean. And she meant that. And then we have over there also Looking for Boaz, which is a conversation with Gen X men about Gen X women. What's the miss? Why y'all not marrying us? Why y'all not talking to us? Why are we turning y'all off? Why are y'all dating younger? And we're asking Generation X men what the problem is. Looking for Boaz. And the question is, are you ready to be Ruth? So we got some other stuff going on over there as well. But join us over there, New You Nation Network YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. And I thank y'all so much. I have 1,300 subscribers. And when I first came on TikTok, I think I had 700. And y'all pushed me right over the top. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I cherish y'all. I honor y'all. And if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. Again, if you need help, if you're struggling in life, I am a life coach. Go to my website, www.treykearney.com. Okay? Love y'all. Gotta go. This has been so much fun. I just need to come on here and tell the mothers, a good mother. When a woman is operating as a good mother, there's nothing bad about her. There's no foul mouth. There's no bad talk about the father. There's no bad talk about anybody, not in front of your children. A good mother makes sure her children are okay first. I'm not going to say that in front of my kids. I'm not going to do that in front of my kids. I'm not going to put that on my kids. I'm not going to put that in my kids. I'm not going to accept that from my children. So I'm not going to show my children that. Thanks for your help. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. What's your name? Rob. Thank you, Rob. And thank you, Lady Takes, for being here. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. If you have any questions, please email me, trey@treykearney.com. You can find me. All things are in my bio. You can just click on my link tree and just look and you see what you need, what you want. Come find me. I'm here. I'm accessible. One of the guys that I coached the other night, I did $50 coaching sessions. Thank you to all the guys who took the $50 coaching sessions. I love y'all. One of the guys, I called him that night and I said, I called him. I said, hello. He was like, oh my God, is it this really you? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, you called. I said, well, who did you think you were going to get? He's like, I'm kind of starstruck. And I'm like, no, it's just me. And I get that response sometimes. Like sometimes I have a line too where people call 567 be healed. And sometimes I answer it like it's like an emergency line if you're really going through it, right? 567, the letter B, healed. And when I answer, people are like, can I speak to Trey? And I say, this is Trey. And they're like, this is Trey? And I'm like, yeah, this is Trey. Who did you think was going to answer the phone? And that just cracks me up. But it's fun. It's fun. I love y'all. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Remember what I tell you at the end of all my broadcasts. Tap the screen to say thank you, goodbye. If this was helpful, tap the screen if it was helpful. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, say yes, 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 yes. Put in the number 5 if this was helpful. A 5, tap the screen so I know that I am saying the right things and I am helping somebody. So remember what I tell you at the end of all my broadcasts. You deserve the best. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve the best. Now go get it. Peace and blessings. And remember, do something nice for yourself. And again, the way that we win in this world, thank y'all for the 5s. The way that we win in this world is for each and every one of us to just be the very best version of ourselves. And the last thing I'm going to say, what you think, what you say, and what you do is a boomerang that's coming back to find you. I said what I said. Peace and blessings. I love y'all.